If you're a personal development expert and you're good at what you do, but you keep attracting people who hesitate, negotiate, or disappear, then you're probably asking yourself a very simple question. Where are the premium clients? Because you know they exist. You see other experts working with them. You see people investing serious money into transformation. So the question isn't whether premium clients exist. The real question is, why aren't they coming to you? And the answer usually has nothing to do with how good you are at coaching. It has everything to do with how your work is positioned. If you're doing this work seriously, you've probably experienced this before. Someone reaches out, they're interested, they ask questions, they want to know more. And you have a good conversation, they say they're excited, they say they want to work on themselves. But then the moment a real decision needs to be made, they hesitate. They say they need time. They say they need to think about it, or they completely disappear. And after a while, you start noticing a pattern. You're speaking to people who like the idea of personal development, but they're not fully committed to transformation. And that's a difference that changes everything. There are millions of people interested in personal development. They read about mindset, how to improve their relationship, or how to become more confident. They watch videos, they follow experts, they like the content, they agree with the ideas. But being interested in personal development and committing to real change are two completely different things. Premium clients are not just interested, they're committed. They already know they want to change something in their life. They already understand the value of guidance, and when they find the right person to work with, they move forward. They don't spend weeks debating whether transformation is worth it. They already decided it is. So the natural question becomes, why do some personal development experts consistently attract those types of clients while others consistently deal with hesitation? In most cases, the difference isn't expertise, it's positioning. And positioning is simply how your work is perceived by the outside world. It's a message people receive the moment they come in contact with you. If your positioning is broad or unclear, you tend to attract people who are still exploring, people who are curious, people who like the idea of change but haven't decided yet. But when your positioning communicates clarity, authority, and transformation, you start attracting a completely different audience. People who are actively searching for change, people who value guidance, people who are ready to invest in their own growth. A trap you might not even realize you've fallen into is trying to help everyone. You want your work to reach anyone who could benefit from it, and I get it. Anyone who wants to improve their life, anyone interested in mindset, anyone interested in relationship, anyone interested in growth in general. And that instinct comes from a very good place. You genuinely want to help people. But when your message becomes that open, something really subtle starts to happen. The people who respond to you are often still trying to figure it out, whether they even want help at all. So instead of speaking with people who are already committed to change, you end up spending a lot of time explaining why coaching works, explaining why transformation is possible, explaining why investing in yourself actually matters. And then you find yourself waiting for people to decide, waiting for people to feel ready, and waiting for people to move forward. And after a while, this becomes exhausting. Not because your work isn't valuable, but because the way your work is positioned keeps attracting people who are still undecided. When positioning becomes more precise and intentional, something really powerful happens. You stop attracting people who are simply curious about change, and you start attracting people who are already committed to it. Those people behave completely different. They respect the process, they respect your expertise, and they approach the conversation very differently. Instead of asking whether coaching works, they ask whether you are the right person to guide them. Instead of debating whether transformation is worth it, they're looking for the right partner in that transformation. That's what premium positioning does. It doesn't just change how you present your work, it changes who your work attracts. So, if you're serious about growing your business, this shift becomes essential. Because growth doesn't come from speaking to more people, growth comes from speaking to the right people. And when your positioning attracts committed clients, conversations become easier, decisions happen faster, and the entire business becomes more stable and predictable. You stop chasing interest and start working with people who are ready to transform. If you're a personal development expert and you feel like you're constantly speaking to people who are curious but not fully committed, then the issue might not be your coaching and it might not even be your visibility. It might simply be the positioning of your work. Because the moment that positioning becomes clear, the type of client you attract begins to change. And that's where real growth starts.